ऐसे साहब से गुजारिश करता हूँ कि वो आज खैर मकदम तकरीब में।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया डॉक्टर ज़ियाउद्दीन साहब, डाइस पर तशरीफ़ रखने वाले डिग्नेटरीज जनाब ए.के. खान साहब और हमारे सुबासी से जो है डॉक्टर अनीता साहिबा और हमारे रजिस्ट्रार जिनको मैंने 3 बजे का टाइम दिया है और 3:45 बजे मैं स्टेज तक पहुंचाने में कामयाब हो सका हूं, जनाब प्रोफेसर इश्तियाक अहमद साहब, यूनिवर्सिटी के तमाम असातिज़ा, फैकल्टी मेंबर्स और हमारे नए पुराने तलबा और तालिबात, ये बड़ी खुशी की बात है। मैं आपको बताऊं कि मैं इनको यहाँ लाने का मेरा बुनियादी मकसद ये है कि मैं आपको सिर्फ ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि हमें कितनी भी मुखालिफ क्यों ना हो, अगर आपके अंदर हौसला है तो आप अपनी जगह ज़रूर पालेंगे। और ए.के. खान साहब इसकी एक मिसाल नहीं हमारे सामने रख चुके हैं। तो हमारा ये भी मकसद है कि आप यहाँ पढ़ के आप ये मत देखिए कि अभी आपके सामने कितनी दुश्वारियाँ हैं, कितनी परेशानियाँ हैं। जितनी परेशानियाँ ज़्यादा हों आप उतने हौसले को और बूस्ट करते जाइए, अपनी हिम्मत को और बढ़ाते चले जाइए। मंजिलें जो है वो आपको मंजिलों तक नहीं जाना होगा, अगर आपका हौसला होगा तो मंजिलें आपके पास आएंगी। तो और आपके सामने एक बेहतरीन मिसाल है जो हिंदुस्तान में कोई किसी भी नौजवान का जो एक ख्वाब हो सकता है, उस ख्वाब की ताबीर जो है वो आपके सामने है। IPS है, इतने बड़े ओहदे पर रहे और जिस स्टेट में आप बैठे हुए हैं इसकी पूरी सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेज जो है आपके कंट्रोल में रही है और ये मकाम आपने अपनी जद्दोजहद से, अपनी हिम्मत से, हम चाहते थे कि एक ऐसी मिसाल को आपसे रूबरू कराएं। मैं दिल की गहराइयों से ए.के. खान साहब का मौलाना आज़ाद देशर उर्दू यूनिवर्सिटी, जो आसमान के नीचे और ज़मीन के ऊपर अकेली उर्दू यूनिवर्सिटी है, इसमें आपको करता हूँ। मैं सिवासिस की अपने रिसोर्स पर्सन डॉक्टर अनीता का भी यहाँ इस्तेमाल करता हूँ। शायद लास्ट ईयर ही मेरे बड़े भाई का बेटा सोहेब अशरफ जो है आपके यहाँ से जो है सिवासिस से उसने कंप्लीट किया है, अपना कोर्स कंप्लीट किया है। आपका भी यहाँ बहुत इस्तेमाल है। थोड़ा सा एडमिशन की शेड्यूलिंग में कुछ ऐसी तब्दीलियाँ आई कि वो हमारे सारे बच्चे जो है वो पहुँच नहीं सके, जो पहुँचे उनको अभी हॉस्टल नहीं मिल सका और जितने बच्चे आपके पास बैठे हैं इतने ही बच्चे वो सिर्फ ऑफिस के सामने लाइन में खड़े हुए हैं ताकि उनके हॉस्टल का अलॉटमेंट उनका कंप्लीट हो जाए। इसलिए बहुत अच्छी आइडियाज आपको हम नहीं प्रोवाइड कर सके, इसके लिए हम माजरत ख्वाह भी हैं। और इन्हीं अल्फाज के साथ मैं अपनी बात खत्म करता हूँ। प्रोफेसर ए.के. खान साहब का और अपनी दूसरी जो रिसोर्स पर्सन है उनका मानू की इस कैंपस में दिली खैर मकदम है, इस्तकबाल है और हम उनके शुक्रगुजार हैं जिन्होंने हमारी दावत पर यहाँ आने की जहमत उठाई। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
अब मैं प्रोफेसर इश्तियाक साहब से गुजारिश करता हूँ कि यूनिवर्सिटी की जानिब से ए.के. खान साहब के लिए कुछ अपने इजहार ख्याल पेश करें और वेलकम भी करें।
Thank you very much, Dr. ज़ियाउद्दीन. Once again, on behalf of the university, I welcome our esteemed guest. He is not actually guest. A.K. Khan Sahib is a very renowned personality in Hyderabad, and he is known to all of our faculty members and most of our senior students. His services had been very valuable services he has given to the university in the past 5 or 6 years. We all know that he had been closely associated with our coaching academy, that is IS Coaching Academy, and still we take his honorable guidance, and in the various matters of minorities education and upliftment of Muslim students, especially girls students. They had been working and he is a very, now though he is retired, but he is a very senior advisor to the Chief Minister and Government of Telangana. And he is a very knowledgeable person. Wherever he goes, just we were discussing about our VO programs and various new courses that could be added as far as the vocational stream is concerned. Really his guidance was very illuminating. So it's really, we are really very thankful to you that you have spared time for our new students who have joined this university. और मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ यकीनन आपकी बातें, आपकी जो गाइडेंस होगी और मशवरा होगा हमारे नए स्टूडेंट के लिए निहायत मुफीद साबित होगा, और हमारे स्टूडेंट्स आपसे इंस्पायरेशन भी लेंगे। आप हमारे लिए एक रोल मॉडल हैं, हमारे सोसाइटी के लिए, हमारे कम्युनिटी के लिए और इस उर्दू यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए। मैं अपने तमाम तालिब इल्मों से गुजारिश करूँगा कि आप बहुत ही अटेंशन के साथ सर की हर एक बातों को सुने और उस पर अमल करने की कोशिश करें। हम एक बार फिर आपका बहुत शुक्रगुजार हैं, साथ ही अपने डीन ऑफ स्टूडेंट प्रोफेसर अली मसूद जैसी साहब का, जिन्होंने अपनी पूरी टीम के साथ इस इंडक्शन प्रोग्राम को, वीक लॉन्ग इंडक्शन प्रोग्राम को कामयाब बनाने के लिए दिन रात जद्दोजहद कर रहे हैं। हर रोज़ इस तरह के, यानी एक सेशन पे एक, दूसरा सेशन, हर रोज़ लगातार ये चल रहा है। और मैं देख रहा हूँ कि डिस्पाइट द फैक्ट कि बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट अभी ज्वाइन नहीं किए हैं, फिर भी एक कसीर तादाद में स्टूडेंट यहाँ मौजूद हैं। हम बेहद शुक्रगुजार हैं अली मसूद जैसी साहब का कि स्टूडेंट को इन्वॉल्व कर रहे हैं, स्टूडेंट को जोड़ रहे हैं, और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया यूजीसी का जो गाइडलाइंस है उसके तहत मैक्सिमम जो कुछ भी इंफॉर्मेशन स्टूडेंट तक पहुंचाया जा सकता है। अभी थोड़ी देर पहले मैडम का लेक्चर का एक पार्ट, आखिरी पार्ट सुनने को मिला, जो जेंडर इक्वलिटी और जो ख़ास तौर पे हमारे समाज में जो नाबराबरी है उसके ताल्लुक से था, जो रिफॉर्म्स हो रहे हैं वो था, बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग था। यकीनन ये हमारे स्टूडेंट के लिए, हम सबों के लिए इस तरह के इक़दाम जो हैं बहुत मुफीद साबित होंगे। हम इस उम्मीद से कि ज़रूर आप एक रिस्पॉन्सिबल सिटीज़न बनेंगे, एक रिस्पॉन्सिबल स्टूडेंट बनेंगे और सोसाइटी के लिए और नेशंस के लिए कंट्रीब्यूट करेंगे। बेहद शुक्रिया।
Thank you so much, Professor Ishtiaq Ahmed Saab. Now the time has come to listen the guest and for whom all of you have been waiting. Before I invite, I'll just take a minute to. All of us know about Janab Abdul Qayyum Khan Saab, who has served and who is an IPS officer. He was a police commissioner of Hyderabad. Born in 1956. He was also one of the very important police officer in various other departments. I remember meeting sir in 2008 or 9 when he was DIG, additional DIG for law and order, and that was the first time that I could hear about his honesty, integrity, and the way he was working in the police. Janab Khan introduced a rule many of us have read in the past in the newspaper when he was commissioner of the police, that curbing the drug alcoholism, people who were drunk and driving in the city, there was a very severe punishment, and that brought down such deviant behavior in the city. Janab Khan Saab was not left to go home, and the state government of Telangana appointed him as advisor to the government of Telangana for minorities welfare. And since then, we have been seeing that many other very positive initiatives have been started by the government of Telangana in relation to minorities affairs. All of us know that Telangana Minority Residential School is one of the brainchild of Janab Khan Sahab, and he has been mentoring the entire institutions where none of the other states in the country has allocated such huge amount for minority schools. This is Telangana government with the mentors like Janab Khan Sahab, who has been helping the government, and this is a very apt time to have him in the university, because this is not only, as Jaisi Sahab was telling us, this is the only national Urdu university in the country, and government of Telangana has been running various other Urdu medium schools. So more than 2,000 schools are there in the state, Telangana states. We hope that these kinds of initiatives will connect all those students who come from Urdu medium schools and join this National Urdu University. Having you here in this program is honor for the university. I welcome you, and now I invite you to address our students and then all the staff. Janab Abdul Qayyum.
Professor Ishaq Ahmed Sahab, Registrar of the University, Professor Ali Mashram Sahab, Dr. Ziauddin Sahab, Professor Anita Ji, members of the faculty, students, and particularly those who have for the first time come into MANUU, taken admission here. Assalamu alaikum, namaste, adab. To those who have come to this institution new, I am a Hyderabadi. Now when you have come to our midst, let me welcome you to this beautiful campus and a beautiful city. I'm certain that as the days go by, you'll start liking your life here in the campus and off the campus whenever you are permitted to go or you get an opportunity to go into the city. It's a beautiful city, beautiful environs, and then very progressive area at that. Welcome to all of you here. I have been no stranger to MANUU. In fact, I used to come more frequently a few years back. Perhaps COVID was the cut-off time. After that, I have not come here last 2-3 years. Earlier, I was, in fact, for the Civil Services Institute, which was started here, sort of a mentor and then chairman of the Board of Advisors and then in a way director also, because it clashed with my position as advisor to the Chief Minister. I had to remain in the background and do the mentoring work. Some results came about, but then it was really tragic and unfortunate that the effort did not continue. I'm really happy it is restarting now, and it should start giving good results. In fact, the few minutes I spent once I entered the auditorium, Anitaji was talking to you on gender justice and gender issues. I was transported into my pre-retirement days. This is what we had been handling as one of our subjects at the time. And I wholly agree. It's not only the women who are aggrieved in society, men also are equally aggrieved in gender issues. There is a third gender which is not taken into account at all. So all these issues she is very well elucidated, coming from a famous and then a academically premier institute like Symbiosis. Only one caution I give here, now that the three main important the acts concerning criminal jurisprudence, that is the IPC, CRPC, and the Evidence Act. These three acts, they have not only been given the Hindi names, but a lot of sections also are undergoing change. Chapters, 8th chapter coming as first chapter, first one going into 8th. Essentially, the contents could be the same with some modifications, the social changes that have come about in the last 1.5 centuries. But then, the numbers will certainly undergo change. You will come to know more about it when the Select Committee clears it in Parliament and then when it becomes a law. Right now it is at a bill stage. My exposition will not be very heavy. It's going to be not too light also, but then I hope it will be relevant, because now when you are coming in here, I am not an academic, so I will not be giving too many academic inputs, but my idea is to orient you, to bring in an attitude of some purpose when you are here, so that you can work for your futures, for your careers. And the letter that was sent to me also was that I should be speaking on careers and leadership. It's again a very easy area and a all-encompassing omnibus area. I'll not get into too many of that. Only one particular aspect I would like to speak on. Probably that way, whatever I speak today will be more focused. Let me talk on goals. The goal that you set for yourself. जो मकसद जो बनाते हैं आप जिंदगी में आपके लिए, इसको कैसे सेट करना है, इस पर I would like to give you some clarity with the help of some very successful examples that have happened. I'll just talk about it. मकसद के बारे में बात करते हैं आज. My Hindi, for those of you who have come from UP, Bihar, might be a little different because I told you I was born, brought up in Hyderabad. My father also was an IPS officer. He was in this state. All my upbringing took place in Hyderabad. My cadre was Hyderabad. All my work I did in Hyderabad. And that way, you know, the Dakani will be a little different compared to the Urdu you are used to in your states. So let's talk about the goal setting. See, goal setting is, all of us keep setting goals right from our childhood, from the time we are born. Probably children set the goals much more well, with a lot of passion than we do as grown-ups. I'll give a small example. I have a 6-year-old grandson. One time, when I was at my home, the DGP and the Commissioner of Police Hyderabad, they came to visit me. They were in uniform. Because I was senior to them, they saluted me and we sat down and discussed. My grandson was observing this. After the end of the conversation, again, as it happens in uniform services, again they saluted, I wished back, and then they went away. Grandson was asking, Dadaji, are you a bigger police officer than them? I said, look, I retired the same rank, but I'm senior, that's why they were doing this to me. Then he said, Dadaji, when I grow up, I want to become a police officer like you, a big police officer. Which means he has set his goal wrong. So this happened. A few days later, I was traveling, he was with me in the car. The Honorable Chief Minister rang me up in some context. I was talking. Profusely I was selling. So he heard all this. After the call, he said, to whom are you selling so politely and obediently? I said, my boss, the Chief Minister, was calling me. Then he said, Dadaji, not police officer, I want to become Chief Minister. He reset his goal. Immediately. He knew that that's bigger and then probably should be there, not here. This ended. I don't know how many of you have seen that serial on Netflix, Designated Survivor. That's about somebody, a very low level politician in the sense, not a very senior politician in United States political setup. When the president, vice president, speaker, everybody dies in a disaster, he is elevated to become a president. The designated survivor becomes the president of the United States. There is a context in which he travels and goes in Air Force One into Afghanistan and a lot of bombing, this thing, that thing, Rambo style, it happens in US style. It happens. He does all that. This boy was that along with me. And hey, who is this man? He's going in Air Force One and doing all this. I said, he's President of the United States, the mightiest man on earth, power-wise. He said, ye chhodiye, Chief Minister, ye DGP chhodiye, wo banna chahta. I said, that you cannot become, because you are not born in US, you are not a citizen by birth there. So these sort of things we keep happening with us. Goal setting, resetting keeps taking place. I am not getting into those sort of imaginative and then the type of goal setting children do. Now we are all grown-ups. We have seen some life. We know what we are up to, in the sense, what are my potential, what is my potential, and what are the capabilities that I have. Based on all that, my aptitudes and my capabilities, we try to match all this and try to set a goal for ourselves. Let's get into that. So this key that I referred to in this definition is that goal. Unless you have set that goal, you cannot develop a strategy to achieve it. A life without goal will take you nowhere. You must have a goal. Resetting, modifying it is a different subsequent thing. But first you must have a goal. This is what I want to be in life. Unless you start with that, everything else will not fall in place. So just remember that. Now how do you set a goal? It has to be a right goal. The first requisite, first condition to set a goal for yourself is what knowledge of you have of yourself. That's a very important thing. What am I? What is my potential? How much can I do? And what are my aptitudes? These things become very, very important. I'll give a small example. There are a lot of people who set goals without knowing what their aptitudes are, what their capabilities are. They are confused and they don't achieve much in life. Today, 4 or 5 examples that I'm going to take, all are from the field of sports, games and sports. Those who are few into that will like it. Others also should like it because there's a profound lesson for all of us in that. The sports teaches quite a lot. In fact, when you are in this campus also, you should play a lot of games here. I have played a cricket match 3-4 years back. A beautiful cricket team we had at the time. So we really enjoyed it. So anyway, deliberately I picked up the examples from the field of sports and games. It drives on the point that I'm going to make. Knowledge of self. Let me give you one example. Some of you might have heard of Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps was a great Olympian, swimmer, American. So far, nobody has won more number of Olympic medals than he did. A swimmer, I think he participated in 5 Olympics, one after the other. There was no swimming competition that he did not win. That's how prominent he was. Juxtapose this with another athlete coming from Morocco, Sir Hisham Gouretz. And he also was a middle distance runner, and he won a lot of medals in 2-3 Olympics. Maybe nowhere near Michael Phelps, but he was renowned in his own area of activity. You see, Michael Phelps had a very peculiar body shape. His height was 6'2", but torso, starting from the waist to the top, was much longer. As a result, his hands also were longer, palms were huge, very huge palms he had. The second man, Hisham, the middle distance runner, he was also 6'2" in height, but his torso was much smaller, legs were very long. He chose to become a runner, middle distance runner. Michael Phelps chose to be a swimmer. This was very important because in swimming, your hands, how much of acceleration you can generate with that, how much of water you can displace by pushing with your palms, all this hold a very important position. Whereas when it comes to running, upper part of the body does not have a big role. It's the longer legs. With the longer legs, you can have a longer stride and you can cover the distance much easier and faster. Had Michael Phelps chosen to become a runner and Hisham wanted to be a swimmer, both of them have been disasters. They would have not gone beyond their nationals, perhaps. Forget about Olympics. So they chose the right area because they had awareness of their body type. They thought they had those attributes. They understood their attributes. And then they had the attitude also along with that. So he became a swimmer, he succeeded. This man became a runner and he succeeded. This is how the awareness of your own capabilities. Here we are talking of mental capabilities or physical capabilities, whatever, becomes very, very important for us. I can't be weak in mathematics and aspire to, without having aptitude for that, and try to become a big mathematician. My heart might not be in sciences, but then I choose science because science is an important area of academics. Though my heart is in, say, literature or humanities, but then I do something else, I do not succeed in that. I'll give you another small example from my own life. My son got into IAS in 2016 batch. He got a fairly good rank. He got All India 70. This boy, when he took the interview, had gone to attend some conference in Shimla, but that evening I landed in Delhi. I went to the UPSC. By the time he came out, I picked him up. And then both of us went to Lodi Gardens for a walk. When we were walking, he was very highly inflammable. So I was not even touching, I was just trying to break into a conversation with him. It was fun. I was finding it difficult. I did not want to talk about the interview, but though my heart was into that, I wanted to ask how he has done and whether he would qualify or not. I wanted to ask, like any anxious father would do. But then after some meandering conversation, I told him, I asked him, how did you do? He said, Papa, don't talk about it. The thing is over. Years and years of sitting and preparing for this. Anyway, it's over. Forget about it. Whatever happens, happens. Then after a minute, he asked me, Papa, why did you ask me to take BTech, BE? I would have done very well in humanities. My heart was always in history, in those subjects. Why did you put me here? I was really stumped. In fact, this is one boy among my 3 children whom I sent for a scientific career counseling session in Bangalore. All psychometric tests I got done. And then they said, nothing else, technology. This boy is too good in technology, in mathematics and everything is good. He got admission to IIT, beats everything, he got it. So put him only in that area. So IIT was the way to go. So I said, IIT ne bits pilani mein aapko electronics mil raha hai, electrical, go and join. He went and joined and did it. But then he said, okay, you think that I have done well here. I got into IIS. Everybody thinks that, okay, you have reached your highest potential. But I am telling you, I would have done much more, but very well, had I pursued my history or something else. So these sort of things. Sometimes we ourselves do not know. We think that by taking a particular area, I have reached my maximum. Who knows? Had you pursued your dream, had you pursued your aptitude, you could have done much better in another way there. That's why all of you are still at inception stage for collegiate education. Make up your minds and see. I'm sure that you have made minds and then chosen the courses that you wanted to. So put your heart and soul into that, and then you will see that definitely you will excel in whatever activity you have picked up. So knowledge of the self is very, very important in this. The second one, we cannot decide everything all by ourselves. Your culture, Islamic culture, and for that matter, any culture will definitely tell you the value of consultation. Whom do you consult? Kautilya and Arthashastra has said, don't consult 40, consult at least 4 well-meaning people before you take a decision. It's there in Islamic culture also. In the inception of stages of the religion itself, every decision was being taken by consultation, isn't it? There used to be discussions. So consultation has a value. Whom do you consult? The first thing which is totally interested in you is your family. And family members, your brothers, your sisters, your uncles, those who have seen life, they could definitely advise you. You have to have a free-wheeling discussion with them before you set your target. This is how I rate myself, this is the capability that I have, this is what I want to do. What do you have to say? Perhaps they have another angle to give you by way they have observed the society, the possibilities, and your own personality that they have studied. Whether to accept it or not is a different thing, but consultation is definitely required. The other one is, now you have come here, you have your teachers, you have your professors. Professors or teachers' relationship with the student does not end in the classroom with that academic or with that particular topic. It goes much beyond. If after parents and your family, anybody else is interested in your well-being and your coming up in life, definitely it will be teachers. Teachers will be too happy if you go beyond academics and try to take counseling from them. It happens. You try and see when you are here. If you have 5, 6 teachers, you will definitely develop 1 or 2 favorites among them. Teachers also develop favorites in the class. Though nobody would like to discriminate one against the other. But it happens very naturally in human beings. You start liking somebody more than the others. It happens in families, among children, between parents and children also. So, if you have one or two teachers who have developed as your favorites, you must maintain an equation, a relationship with them, and try to take as much advice as possible from time to time. This we should start doing right from the first year. Many who join courses like engineering, law, or undergrad, postgraduate courses, we while away a lot of our time till the last semester or after that. Suddenly look back and see that I have not crystallized my thought into a career or building up a CV, etc. When I was here, I could have done a few extra courses. I have not done it because first year, second year, etc. while away my time. A lot of spare time would be available. So that sort of a consultation, a relationship would be required. The other group that would be helpful to you is within the peer group. When we were mentoring the civil services effort here in MANUU, we used to tell that 4 or 5 of you must bind together as a group. Your wavelength should match and you must be on the same purpose. When you sit down and discuss, you will see how each one will be encouraging the other, how frankly each one will be giving the inputs, the feedback about the others, where he is lacking, where he is good. All these sort of things happen. That's why that sort of a dedicated band of peers would definitely be required. When you do all these consultations, then you are clear about your own personality, about your goal. I'll take up 3-4 examples, some good examples, which will